Let's look at Microsoft. First off, read this disclaimer carefully. This is their website. They have a pretty broad portfolio of products. They have the Windows operating systems, Azure, huge in cloud computing, Bing, Skype, the Office package, and the Xbox. The Xbox is especially interesting because there is a new generation of gaming consoles coming, and Xbox is way ahead of the main competitor, and that is Sony. The big plan for Microsoft is to make Xbox the default operating system of the living room, if not the entire house. Let's jump into the charts. This is the long-term picture for Microsoft with weekly data points. Since the financial crisis, the bear market, we've had a huge move. From here to the top is over 1000% gain. That's huge. The moving averages are looking decent. The problem is that while we do have this V-shaped recovery, it is extremely important that we have follow through, because if we do get some pullback before we break out above this level, we actually need to get above this intra-week high to have like a confirmed breakout. If we do get pullbacks before that happens, we will have a double top pattern. That's bad. So a V-shaped recovery, that is bullish, but a double top, that's bearish. And there certainly is the risk that this move was too much too fast, such that the bulls may run out of steam if we do see some weakness. This week or the coming weeks, there could be a shorting opportunity for this stock. Long term, I am bullish on Microsoft. The problem is that if we look at previous bear markets, like the housing bubble and of course the dot-com bubble, Microsoft also goes down. And Microsoft, it's one of the companies with a market cap above $1 trillion US. Hence, if Microsoft goes down, it will drag the market with it. Let's look at daily data points. So here you can see that the 200 and the 100 moving average, they are both positive. Hence, you could make the case that there's overall a bullish sentiment here. The big issue is this move. The RSI is currently at 63-ish. It would be quite a defeat to break out above this level. We could have some pullback and then make the move. But my key point here is that this is a critical juncture. We absolutely need to have a follow-through. Without that, we will have a major double top and the bears will get feisty. You can see that Microsoft does pay a regular dividend. Looking at correlations, there is an 83% positive correlation between Microsoft and the S&P 500, meaning they do more or less move together. All in all, this stock is very impressive. It's made a lot of progress, V-shaped recovery, but there is a risk going forward. Let's now look at some fundamentals. Here we have Yahoo Finance. You can see that there is some bearish sentiment here in the pre-market trading. Market cap $1.3 trillion US, huge. And the PE ratio 31, not a cheap stock. The beta is 96, basically just as volatile as the market. It is considered to be overvalued. That's an issue. If we go further down, here you can see the analysts. I mean, they have a 1.7 here between a strong buy and a buy. That's good. The issue is when we go to the analyst price targets. The Microsoft is currently trading at 178-ish. The average price target is 186. If we go here to Saks.com, you can see that they have a number 3 hold on Microsoft, a D value score, B growth, and C momentum. The dividend here is 1.14%, so you are getting paid to wait, but the dividend is not like super juicy. Industry rank here is decent, top 23%. I have categorized Microsoft as an artificial intelligence stock. Let's have a bit of an introduction to artificial intelligence, which is one of the most powerful megatrends out there. The origins of AI can be traced all the way back to philosophy of logic and language. This is also the origin of computer science. One of the key things, and one of the great confusions out there, that is the difference between artificial intelligence and automation, because a lot of things that are called AI nowadays are basically just automation. One of the key things about artificial intelligence is that it must pass the Turing test to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to or indistinguishable from humans. Another thing is that AI is inherently limited by its designers. This is quite a paradox, because in science fiction there's all of these ideas that the artificial intelligence will become self-conscious and all kinds of super fancy things will happen. That is most likely very much science fiction and will be science fiction for all time. The AI will be inherently limited by the designers. Hence, unless we can make some data system where the AI can develop itself, but even then, that algorithm will be made by human designers, so that's the paradox. As human beings, we are created, at least if you take a more spiritual perspective, by a creator that is vastly superior to us. We are far more simpler. Hence, it is quite a stretch to even imagine that a simple being like a human is going to create some entity that is vastly more complicated. That doesn't really make sense when you really think about it. Another key distinction is between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So artificial intelligence, it mimics humans, while machine learning is self-adaptive algorithms. Deep learning is neuron-like networks. A very interesting thing about AIs is that they are usually portrayed as female. This is a marketing thing because females are viewed as being less threatening than males. And this also ties into what we see with robots. Many robots are also female. There is a game-changing evolution of processors going on right now that is catapulting the development of artificial intelligence. This is another way to invest in AI, and that is to invest in the leading manufacturers of microprocessors. Artificial intelligence, it will disrupt all non-creative jobs. Any job that is very routine, rule-based, can easily be done by an automated system. Hence, you do not actually even need genuine artificial intelligence. The thing is that the human reaction to the emergence of AI will, for all intents and purposes, be a much bigger threat than the artificial intelligence itself. One of the common things we see in science fiction, that's of course the artificial intelligence taking over and doing all kinds of bad, nasty things. Well, that is not really what we see happening historically with technology. It is extremely rare for the technology to do, the evil deed. Even in the few cases where you can specifically say that the machine is the primary reason why the error and horror developed, even in those cases, you have to trace the causality back, and then you see that there was a human who made the machine, which did not include sufficient safety systems, which, as an example, we saw with Airbus scandals. Whatever you do, of course, you want to let the trend be your friend. Artificial intelligence, it's one of the most exciting megatrends out there. My key point here is that it is at a much more immature stage than what is portrayed in the media and by the companies in this space. Because it's basically marketing. They are biased and want to portray AI as being far more sophisticated than what it really is in order to attract investors. The vast majority of supposed AI currently on the market is automated systems. It's not genuine AI. And there are a bunch of philosophers and even computer scientists who are pretty adamant that it might be theoretically impossible to make genuine AI. To some extent, it will always be automated systems that only give the illusion of self-awareness and creative thought. If there is any specific company or trend that you want me to look at, mention it in the comment section below. And have a great day and be very careful, because this market is very erratic.